not been doing very well for the last more than a few quarters. In fact, as you all may remember, even before Corona hit us, I think the last 8 quarters preceding, the pandemic, also we have seen slowdown across the country. But fortunately for us in Telangana, our annual GSDP growth rate has been consistent. We've been growing at a breakneck speed, and we've been growing at a much, much rapid pace than any other state in the country at 14.2% over the last 5 years. We are consistently ranked as among the top 3 states in the country on the ease of doing business rankings. We have slipped a slot this year, but we'll bounce back, I'm sure. And our TS iPass, which is a landmark single window clearance system, has been instrumental in bringing more than $28 billion of investment in the last 5 years. Telangana continues to remain number 2 as a city and state in IT software exports, but our growth rate has been substantially higher than the national growth rate. In fact, while the country has been growing at about 8%, we've been growing at about 18%, which goes to show you that our growth momentum has not slipped. We've also recently added many EV-related technology firms, such as ZF Automotive and Electronics, ZF Automotive, and electronics firms such as Oppo, Vivo, Skyworth, Intel, Micron. All of them today are having significant presence in our city. Our innovation ecosystem is second to none, with important players in important institutions such as RICH, the Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad, TASK, the Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge, soon to be coming up T-Works, and of course T-Hub, which is widely known. We intend to leverage our strengths in electronics, aerospace and defense, and information technology sectors, creating synergies, thereby developing as a center for research and innovation for all electric vehicles, battery technologies, and other emerging technologies such as autonomous and connected vehicles. We have taken a pragmatic approach in drafting this policy. We've consulted the industry. We've also discussed with various other public policy institutions, and I guarantee that if we meet the initial numbers, because there might be a concern that the numbers that we've showcased in this policy are on the lower side in terms of adoption. I promise you one thing, that if we meet the initial numbers, I shall go back to the cabinet and plead with Honorable Chief Minister to find easily available. I'm glad that they are represented here by Mr. Janaya, who will ensure, but TS Redco will also set up a lot of charging stations. MA and UD, of course, which is also under my supervision, will ensure all regulatory approvals and setting up of necessary infrastructure with respect to our charging stations that we will be setting up in metro stations and elsewhere will also be, and parking lots also will be, factored and will be given whatever incentives are required to make it sustainable. We're also, as I pointed out, planning to establish public charging stations at airports, railway stations, metro stations, parking lots, bus depots, markets, fuel stations, malls, etc. And I request all charging station players to come forward and work with us. And we can work with, we're not exclusive to anyone. We will be open. We will work with, all the leading players in the industry in a very transparent fashion. And we look forward to working closely with you. We're already establishing 178 charging stations in Telangana. And the state already, as was pointed out by Honorable Transport Minister, has a fleet of buses plying through TSRTC. We're currently engaging with ARAI, with whom we've just signed an MOU, to collectively work towards promoting research and development for manufacturing of electric vehicle and energy storage systems. Because looking forward, as was pointed out by Anna Roy, India needs to find its own solutions. We cannot be aping the West. We cannot be aping any other country with respect to EVs, because our situation is very different. Our people are very different. Our approach to our roads, our approach to our urban planning, our approach to adoption of technology is very different when compared to other countries and other parts of the world. We believe that the EV adoption would increase more and more since the policy just rolled out today, as was pointed out again by my previous speakers. While Government of India may have launched out their idea, their efforts 3 years ago, I think it's very, very important for the states to join this to actually, gain momentum. And with Telangana now, coming out with its own policy, I believe the adoption would improve and increase at a rapid pace. So we invite the industry in India and abroad to come forward, make Hyderabad as their base for manufacturing operations, as we believe local manufacturing is the key to achieve the price-performance parity and enable faster adoption of electric vehicles. Once again, I thank all the stakeholders who have participated in policy making, who have come forward to invest in the state of Telangana, and I look forward to interacting with you more often and more closely to ensure that Telangana truly becomes the hub for electric vehicles in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing the strategic perspective for manufacturing ecosystem in Telangana. Now we have Mr. Vijay Madhuri to come and give his talk.
Sir, for changing slides, you need to tell the host to change the next slide. Like if you integrate next slide.
Sure. And have two advantages. One is it will be pollution-free city. We can start in the city because charging stations will be there. Second is that it will save money for the RTC. Because today we are spending a lot of money on diesel. But with this we can save a lot of money in form of the savings.
Environment, science and technology. There are aggregators, Uber, Ola and many others out there. We could work together jointly to ensure that more and more people are taken away from their private vehicles which are